What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Don't be stupid, Bovicks. I, Ekwix, am the only one worthy to serve in Sir Rimuru's elite Big Four. It'd be far more suitable for you to hole up in the labyrinth, enjoying your retirement.
Silence. Why would the likes of you ever deserve to be in the all-dominating Big Four?
Without warning, their battle began. They were both close-quarters power types, axe and shield against spear and shield in a pitched battle. Seeing them fight, you could tell they were melee types, not the sort to cast magic or other arts. Bovicks hefted his large axe upward, swinging it down toward the floor, but it clanged against Ekwix's shield as he pushed it back. It brought Bovicks's body down, and Ekwix wasted no time advancing with his spear, but a nimble backstep from Bovicks had its tip whistling through thin air. The battle continued for a good 20 minutes, an edge-of-your-seat balance between offense and defense that showed no signs of letting up. They had fought for the past 100 years, and this duel didn't look like it'd end any sooner. The breathtaking monster battle kept the crowd wrapped with excitement. After all, one rarely if ever had a chance to see two monsters of their level fight from such a close distance away. Normally, you could go your entire life without witnessing a duel between two rankers like this. They were evenly matched, and that was why the battle extended so long. It was fun to watch. But it came to an abrupt end.
It's over.
Bovicks moved to finish things, throwing his great axe, a projectile attack that could pulverize boulders, capable of breaking both its target and the weapon they were holding. Ekwix's left arm exploded off him, flying through the air. He had sacrificed it to stop Bovicks's throw. But he just smiled. That was exactly what Ekwix wanted, and in a single moment, he closed the gap between him and Bovicks. Bovicks was no doubt expecting Ekwix to dodge his axe entirely, and this new move left him unprepared for this assault.
It ends here. Take this, equine spear flail.
Ekwix was at his chest, and the flurry of spear strikes he unleashed was impossible to avoid. With no way to dodge them, Bovicks suffered a succession of stab wounds all at once. Ekwix was willing to literally give an arm for this victory, and now he had it, or so he thought.
Not so fast. Lightning horn.
With a roar, Bovicks landed a headbutt on Ekwix with his horns. Lightning crackled up and down them as they extended out twice as long as before. They were vicious weapons, and they tore into Ekwix's right eye and arm. That settled the battle. The spear fell out of Ekwix's useless limb as electricity shot through where the horns had stabbed him, searing his wounds. It almost looked like the blood was being boiled out of him. Ekwix had gained the self-regeneration skill during his evolution, but the lightning damaged him far faster than he could heal himself. Bovicks, meanwhile, had ultra-speed regeneration, and the massive holes in his chest and stomach were already closing up. The battle was his. Injuries that'd normally cause instant death were no problem with ultra-speed regeneration. And with self-regeneration, even Ekwix's many wounds were starting to heal themselves. By the time they left the arena, they were both back to normal, Ekwix already groaning about how he'd get him next time. Glad to see he was well. But it was over. Bovicks was the first to advance, his masterful fighting earning him cheers from the crowd. What a way to kick off this tournament. Seriously, though, seeing it in action again, ultra-speed regeneration was almost like cheating. Ekwix no doubt used the tactics that had served him well in the past. That onrush, followed by a flurry of spear stabs, would have ended most contests. That was why he didn't fear those obviously fearsome horns for a moment, and that cost him dearly. I hoped this taught him a lesson. He'd need, I thought, to be more careful, eyeing his foe and figuring out where his aces in the hole were. Match 2 pitted the hero Masayuki against Jinrai the Mad Wolf, and as everyone knew in advance, it ended with a forfeit for the hero. The two of them just shook hands in the center of the arena, and that triggered wild cheering and applause. It made no sense. Why would a handshake whip the crowd into such a frenzy? I could hear them shouting,
"The hero has done it again!"
and so forth. Why was he so popular? It was alien to me. Ah well, I resolved to stop thinking about things I couldn't change. On to the next fight. Match 3 was the flowing swordsman Gaia against Gobta. How would it turn out? By the looks of it, Gaia qualified for the rank of A, if barely. His weapon and armor were all rare-level goods, proving that as an adventurer, he was among the best in the business, but Gobta had a set of unique class armor. I didn't think he was Gaia's match in skill, but add all their traits together, and you had a pretty decent matchup.
Ready, and begin.
The battle started at Soka's signal. With a short breath, Gaia planted his feet down and thrust his sword. It was a sharp thrust, and I saw where the flowing part of his nickname came from. Excellent work, but Gobta's chest guard blocked it.
What? Such fine armor for petty infantry.
That's too fast.
This happened just after the starting signal. Gobta didn't even have enough time to remove his dagger. God damn it, I said to myself, scolding him. You're leaving yourself far too open. Gobta's armor staved off the blow, but it wouldn't next time. It was Gaia's excessive self-confidence that saved him there, but next time he'd clearly go for a joint or some other unprotected spot.
But how about this?
He unleashed a dancing slash, striking at Gobta multiple times. Gobta managed to dodge them all, already at the end of his rope and practically on the verge of tears. By the look on his face, he was probably aiming to get run out of the ring and disqualified. Victory was quickly off the table. He was just trying to protect himself, and that might have been the right answer, but I wish he could have tried a little harder. Given how interesting a match this looked like on paper, Gobta's reaction was a disappointment. I thought that settled it, but, tantalizingly enough, the battle just refused to end. Gobta kept sidling over to the edge of the arena, and Gaia kept cutting him off.
Is he toying with him?
He doesn't seem to be a very nice person, no. Gobta is hardly gallant himself, but I find this man's behavior quite distasteful.
Shien and I were in agreement. Now I kind of wanted Gobta to win.
Think you can run from me, you peon?
Gaia fought with a bastard sword, its length somewhere between short and long. He also had a gauntlet on his left hand that he landed punches with, no doubt to devastating effect. It was an unusual fighting style, and when he came at you with both arms raised, it was hard to guess exactly what he'd do. To Gobta, who learned more standard swordsmanship, it was no doubt a tricky foe to juggle. Still, Gaia never landed any decisive wound. The only real blow so far was the very first one on Gobta's chest plate.
Gobta is being very observant.
Shien remarked.
You wouldn't be able to dodge those sword strikes for so long unless you could keep up with how he moved his weapon.
She had high praise for him, and so did I. He did take a few punches, but any sword slashes were always met, and deflected, with his dagger.
Alright, come on, Gobta, stay focused, show me what's in you and beat this guy. I'll give you a raise in your allowance. And, if you win the whole tournament, I'll give you that new fishing pole you wanted.
Really? Then I'm pulling out my last resort, okay?
If he had a last resort, I really wished he'd used it sooner. But regardless, my encouragement seemed to do the trick. He actually wanted to fight. I wasn't exactly thrilled with resorting to bribery with him, but with someone as lazy as Gobta, that should have been my first tactic. I mean, I already had Gelden there, I didn't expect much out of Gobta, but with things as they were, I really needed a full effort from him.
Don't try to look smart around me, peon. The likes of you could never beat the strongest out there.
Gaia continued to give chase, laughing the whole way. He was no doubt sure of his victory, not even bothering to keep an eye on Gobta. But now Gobta was prepared to do anything to win, and thus, Gaia was doomed.
Summon. Okay, come on over.
Gobta was head of the Goblin Riders, and, of course, that meant he could summon a Starwolf and unify with it. This gave him Magicule energy on the level of an A- monster, combined with the sword skills drummed into him by Hakuro. Against someone like Gaia, he could more than hold his own. Again, though, why didn't you just do this first, man? Damn it, Gobta, he just wanted to lose this ASAP, I knew it. But at least now he was serious about.
Wah.
Summoning? But a dark direwolf is no threat to.
Then Gaia fell silent. The dark-colored wolf Gobta had summoned had smashed into him at top speed. The swordsman was wrong. Gobta hadn't summoned a direwolf of any sort, a C or D level threat at best. Instead, this dark wolf, wagging his tail and pinning Gaia to the ground as he licked him. It couldn't have been anyone but Ranga.
Ranga, what are you doing?
Quite a tactic. I must hand it to Ranga. He's become quite the schemer.
I don't think so, Shien. I really don't think so. Gobta looked just as surprised as us, so I didn't think he meant to do that. This was purely Ranga's doing. He must have barged into Gobta's summoning without asking. And here I thought he was sleeping in my shadow, I had no idea he'd hatch this sort of plan. Sokka ran up to Gaia, then turned toward Diablo.
Gay's unconscious. A brilliant move. I think the battle's over.
Diablo the referee, his face deadpan, ruled this a valid attack. He had to have recognized Ranga, right? I mean, I knew he was in his smaller, regular wolf size, but oh well, they got along, that much I knew.
And the winner is Gobta.
Soka's proclamation was drowned out by the cheers. Given the lack of booing from the crowd, everyone must have accepted summons as fair game in this match.
Really?
Whispered Gobta. Nobody heard him in the roar.
But, can we really get away with this?
Summoning magic is explicitly allowed in the rules. I would think it is not a problem.
Well, if Rigard thought so, then all right. But Ranga decided to join in, huh? Are you sure this isn't an infraction? Because up to now, I'd given Gobta zero chance of winning his first round, but with Ranga, there was no telling any longer. Considering my initial goal of testing out Masayuki's skills, maybe this was a blessing in disguise. Right, time to stop worrying about it. I defiantly decided to let it go.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shoutout to David III, Shukran, Ilya Hakobian, Abhishek Dungdung, Chadvota, Night Gazer, Almost On Time Hero, Psycho Cat, Angel Blaze, and last but not least, shoutout to Man It's Tricky. I'll see you guys in the next video.